Welcome to the Fantastic Beasts and franchise. Find them.
Damn.
I came up with that right now, Henry.
That's
I'm a
so
fucking
good.
Genius.
You really are, man.
Oh. All right,
you don't give yourself enough props.
Sure I do. Hey, so we're covering It's the Franchise. That's the show that you're listening to right now. You were on Spotify or something, you saw our stupid logo that Nathaniel made, and you clicked on it, and here you are listening to the show. And you did the wipe 10 seconds like 3 times to get through the opening credits.
Right,
not the credits, the song. And then
Ron didn't want to hear the song.
Didn't want to hear the song. Now you're here. And what you're going to hear today on the podcast is us. We're talking about the Harry Potters again. But Harry Potter's not in these movies. All right?
No.
But some of the characters are. There's Dumbledore. I saw McGonagall for a second.
Yep.
All right? And it's back in the Wizarding World, Henry. I saw a little Wizarding World logo in front of the movie, like it's like a Marvel or something.
That's right. I was calling it the HPU, but I was mistaken. It is not called the Harry Potter universe, right? It's called the Wizarding World universe.
It's the Wizarding World. I don't think you gotta stick universe at the end of it because you already got world.
I prefer universe these days. But, I would like to welcome everybody to episode 128.
128 is pretty good.
Yeah. Who do we have here this week?
Well, can I just say my name is Daniel Ehrenberg?
Can I just say my name is Henry Pauly? Welcome, everybody. We'll get our shit together, maybe.
All right, I'm getting a real lag time with you, Henry. Now, listen, it happens. We're talking to a guest this week because we're back at Harry Potter time. We had some guests on during the Harry Potters. We had on the Real Weird Sisters. Remember that episode?
I do very much, very fondly.
Good episode. Yeah. It did really well for us in the ratings, Henry.
Did it? Yeah.
And so it's November, right? So now it's like November sweeps.
Right.
We got to get ratings again.
Yeah, we have to get ratings again. We're trying to squeeze in the best episodes possible so we can get nominated next year for the podcast awards.
Sure, the potties.
So that's important.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Now, we're bringing in one of the Real Weird Sisters, the one we've had on before. This is her third time. Third Timers Club.
That's right.
And we talked National Treasure way back with her, and now it's Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them with special guest Martha Craybill. Welcome, Martha.
Thank you for the very, very long intro to introduce me to the show. I'm very happy to be here. Third time. I'm very excited.
That's right. Martha's using someone else's mic, so
she's live from an air traffic control tower.
Oh. It's okay.
LAX.
It's okay. Listen, it's technical dips all over the place this week. It's true. All right. So, Martha, when did you see the Fantastic Beasts?
So the first one I saw the first weekend that it came out, so 2 years ago, and I actually hadn't rewatched it until last week. So I just rewatched it in preparation for The Crimes of Grindelwald, which I then went to see on the opening night, Tuesday, November 13th, for the AMC Fantastic Fandom event.
Oh my God!
Very exciting.
Wait, it didn't come out Thursday night?
They had a very special showing on Tuesday. It was only in AMC theaters, I think, and it was like $25. So really, only the Fantastic fans paid for that, and it was supposed to be in IMAX, but it was not. So
now, Martha, could you get into that? Could you get into that showing if you were part of the AMC Stub Club?
I'm guessing yes.
Okay.
I'm part of that club. Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
I'm part of the Regal Crown Club. Sorry.
So am I.
Oh, you're double dipping.
It's not worth it for either, believe me. But yeah.
All right. So I saw the second one last night, Martha.
Oh, okay. So
it's fresh for me.
Yeah.
Now, I noticed you pronounced that W in Grindelwald. Now, I've been hearing V's.
Yeah, I'm not really a poser about, like, pronouncing things in a non-American way, so I just say Grindelwald, but it probably is supposed to be Grindelwald, but...
Yeah, I saw
Come on.
I saw one of our finest actors, Jude Law, talking about that on TV recently, about how he pronounced it differently than some of the other actors in the cast.
Really?
Yeah, I just feel like too much like a poser or tool when I say Grindelwald, so that's the last time you're going to hear me say it that way.
Okay, we'll stick with Grindelwald.
Well, I can understand that because it's a Harry Potter movie. We don't really need to pronounce. It's not a Herzog documentary, so we think we're all right saying Grindelwald.
Oh, rather than Werner Herzog.
That's right.
God, he could have been a good Grindelwald, actually.
He'd have been great. He would have been a great alchemist in that one last night, huh?
Oh,
The guy
Nicholas Flamel.
Yeah.
Henry, did you catch that sweet reference?
Was that a Catherine Trammell reference?
No,
from Basic Instinct?
Flamel, man. He's all over that first Chris Columbus movie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. No.
Martha,
Didn't-
explain.
Nicolas Flamel is the alchemist who created the Sorcerer's Stone, the titular Sorcerer's Stone of the movie, and he created the Sorcerer's Stone to gain immortality, and that's how he is so old in this movie, and he's still going to live another 100 years after Fantastic Beasts.
So it's not really immortality. It's more like a few hundred years.
Well, you can add on to your life. If you drink the elixir of life regularly, then you get to live forever. As long
So
as you
what
tied
happened?
to the elixir.
Eventually, he was just alive long enough, and he was just like, fuck it.
Well, no, because they destroyed the Sorcerer's Stone after Harry's first year. On
So did Harry kill Nicholas Flamel?
No. They Dumbledore and Nicolas Flamel decided together to destroy the Sorcerer's Stone because it's too much of a so many dark wizards were seeking it, and so Nicolas Flamel was like, you know what, I've lived my life, I don't really need it anymore.
I guess he was looking.
Judging on how he looks, I would imagine it's time to go.
Seriously, it's not like he
I know,
regained his youth. He's just aging.
Yeah, that's 1927, and he's gonna live like I said, another 100 years. He's clearly. You'd think the elixir of life would have a little bit more of the making him look young as well, but I guess not.
Yeah, and he walks like an upright lemming, like an upright prairie dog. So it's probably not.
I thought it was supposed to be William Hurt at first.
the
Ollivander.
elixir of immortality.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It was pretty odd. But hey, let's wait till we get to that one. Let's talk about the first one.
Sure.
Fantastic Beasts, and also where to find them. So this movie is directed by David Yates, Henry, your favorite.
Yeah.
And written by our old friend Joseph Catherine Rowling.
Joseph,
huh? Wow. A lot of changes during this time period.
It's like a Wachowski situation. No, Martha, what does the JK stand for?
Joanne Kathleen.
Ooh, I was kind of vaguely close. I was
I
guessing.
know. I thought you just messed up when you said Joseph.
No.
You got the Kathleen, didn't you, or did you say?
I
Catherine?
said Catherine. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I was pretty close on both. Yeah.
And you got the Joe, because she goes by Joe, so.
Yeah, I think maybe I've heard that at some point.
Which is also my middle name, so connected.
Oh, look at that.
Joe.
That's right. I think I knew that too. All right. This movie came out November 18th, 2016. Budget of $200 million. And the box office take of $814 million. I skipped it in theaters.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised.
I am too.
I wasn't seeing as much in theaters at that point in my life.
Oh,
What was
that's
this,
right, you
November
weren't.
18th, 2016. I was probably going through alcohol withdrawal at the time. And, yep. Bargain.
It's hard to concentrate on a movie.
It was
in the theater.
difficult, sure, yeah. And, I ended up seeing it a few months later. It was like before it was released on home video. Someone I was on a date with had torrented it or something.
Oh.
And I watched it with her. But
Okay.
it was like a date, like a first or second date or something, and I wasn't paying attention to this thing.
Right. No. Yeah, totally.
So it was pretty fresh this time. Martha, you were there opening weekend, huh?
I was. Well, I think it was opening weekend. I didn't go to the premiere, so it was a school night. So.
School night. Okay.
Yeah. What were you like? You were in college though, right?
I'm in my last semester right now. So.
Right.
Yes.
Now, were you excited about this movie?
I was like cautiously optimistic at the time, I would say. It was coming right after Cursed Child, which I was not super excited about, or I was excited about, but then I wasn't excited about it after reading it. So I was kind of like cautious, but I was still like having high hopes at least some hopes. And yeah, I think I came away from it even
Oh.
or like really really happy with it because it was exceeded my expectations because I didn't I guess I didn't like hype it too much before going to it, so that helped.
That's good.
Huh.
Henry, you familiar with A Cursed Child?
I've heard of it. No, I'm not really. No.
Well, you're probably better off.
Listen to Martha coming out guns blazing on Cursed
What
Child.
did she say again? What was what?
Better off not seeing it. It was a
okay. Yeah.
that was like an 8th part to Harry Potter that she wrote as a stage play.
Okay.
Right.
Rowling's
you could go see it, but I wouldn't recommend reading the script.
That's what I did. I only read the
what
script, and
Yeah, me too.
I was not into it. I hear Hermione's black in the stage play. That's pretty cool.
Yes. Yeah, I've heard the play's very good, so maybe I would definitely go see it. I just wasn't super jazzed about the script. So.
Henry, it's a 7-hour-long stage production.
It is not.
I swear to God, I'm not joking. You can either go in 2 consecutive days and see it, or you can watch it in one 7-hour chunk.
My God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I read it.
Jeez.
I read the play, and it was so boring.
I can't imagine that, man. Oh my God. I mean, I actually, when it comes to plays, I do oddly prefer reading them to watching them. But if I'm going to watch something that long, Jesus Christ. I saw a Sam Shepard play in Manhattan about 10 years ago, and that was like 3 hours long, and I wanted to fucking kill myself after that. I mean, holy God.
This one has like special effects and stuff, so it's not like dry, I guess. You go see
Yeah.
it.
I mean,
Yeah.
what does it think it is? Fucking Angels in America?
The special effect in the Sam Shepard play was that it was getting me to sleep because they had the heat on really, really high. I remember that.
That sounds
It's a
pleasant.
4D experience.
No, it was awful.
4D, yeah. Did you see the 4D Fantastic Beasts?
Me or
No,
Martha?
Martha.
No, I did not.
Okay.
Wasn't even 3D.
Not
I
even
saw the
3D.
4D Sam Shepard play.
Oh, yeah. With the heat.
I did get to see Stephen Ray.
Was he in it?
Yeah.
Who's that again?
Crying Game.
Oh, yeah, that guy. All right.
Yeah.
Henry,
Yeah, Dan.
Eddie Redmayne got cast in this movie over Matt Smith and Nicholas Hoult. I'll tell you that. That's a fact.
I read that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your favorite, Eddie Redmayne.
I love Nicholas Hoult, actually, but we're stuck with Redmayne in this thing. And,
Beast.
Well, that's Nicholas Hoult, yeah. And,
Right.
and also from Skins. Martha, did you watch Skins?
I don't. I do know who Nicholas Hoult is, though, so I've
Alright.
seen some X-Men.
That's good. This movie was nominated for 2 Oscars.
Motherfucker.
Are you familiar with these Oscars, Henry? It even won an Oscar.
Was it makeup or something?
Something like that. It won the Oscar.
Well, why don't we hold on and just ask Martha about that nomination? What she thought
Shut
about
the
that?
fuck up. You're just looking for the stupid theme song. Martha, the Harry Potter movies, all 8 of them, none of them won an Oscar.
Yep.
But Fantastic
And-
Beasts and Where to Find Them did. Hey, it won Best Costume Design. Okay. It also was nominated for Best Production Design, but lost to La La Land. Yeah. That was too loud. God damn it. All right. So yeah, one costume design and lost production design to La La Land. So, you know what occurred to me just now? If Nicholas Hoult was in this, it'd be Fantastic Beast, and where to find him?
Oh, yes, it would be.
How about
Didn't
that?
it also, was it not up for a BAFTA?
It was probably up for a bunch of BAFTAs. We're not talking about the BAFTAs on this podcast. This is an American podcast.
Excuse me, we have talked about the British Film Institute and the BAFTA on here, and I have theme songs for both, so go fuck yourself.
You have a BAFTA theme song?
Yes. I've had it since March 26th.
Really? Well, I
Been
didn't
played
write, I didn't write them down, but I think it was nominated for a bunch of BAFTAs. Guys, it came in at number 12 at the box office.
Yeah.
All right behind Moana.
I'm kind of getting the feeling that you guys don't like this movie.
Listen,
We haven't said a word, really.
I have not said a word.
The tone, though, is kind of giving yourselves away.
Never listen to the tone, Martha.
Let me ask you something. Do you find that this was an essential addition to the Harry Potter verse?
No, I don't find it an essential addition. That's a fair question. But I will say, right out of the gate, these two are my top two favorite Wizarding World films.
Of course they are, Martha,
out of the
because
10 that
you
have been
love.
released.
It's because you love the books, and these aren't based on books, so it's a new experience in the world
It's
for you.
100% because I love the books and
Wow.
because they're not based on books. These were made to be movies, and I think that's great, and I really enjoy them. So that's my piece here.
Interesting. Wow.
Well, I'm glad we
Favorite
had you on.
two movies. Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, it's especially good we had you on because you talked so much shit about Alfonso last time.
That's right.
I'll tell you what, these movies
Yeah.
have reverence for Alfonso Cuarón. There's a lot of Azkaban-y shit in this stuff.
But like more like nuanced though, and like we don't have the shrunken heads.
What do you
so-
mean? In like Grindelwald, we got basically just a redo of that Boggart scene.
The box? What? Where? What do you mean?
Did
Oh,
I-
like in the when Dumbledore's teaching the scene.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was better because we didn't have the weird like 1920s like Charleston music playing in the background.
I love that. God damn.
Jeez, yeah. I don't know. I don't know where we're coming down on these. I know where I'm coming down. I have a very strong opinion on both of these films.
I'm excited to hear them. Martha, we did our 2016 lists last week, so we're not going to do them again, but I specifically want to hear yours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I just have to go through this myself.
Yes, please.
Okay. I should just go for it. Number 10 first.
Yeah.
Okay. I actually did see quite a few 2016 movies, so these are not
Ooh.
like rating the 10 movies I've seen or anything. So,
Nice.
yeah, I'll do number 10 first. I put Hail Caesar here.
Ooh, a Coen Brothers. Very nice movie. Henry, didn't you
Yeah.
skip that or something?
I did skip it. I believe it's the only Coen Brothers movie I've never seen.
That seems very arbitrary. Why don't you just see it? It's good.
I will eventually.
It's fun.
It just looked really, really, really bad. So I don't know if
Weird. It was very weird, but yeah, I liked it. Number 9, Moana.
Oh, Moana. Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't see
There are
it.
only two. There are only two animated movies on this list. So.
Oh.
Was there
Wow.
a Shrek movie in 2016?
If there were, it would not be on the list because that doesn't sound good. Number 8, Zootopia, the other animated film of that year.
Yeah,
Right?
that was a hit. That made more money than Fantastic Beasts.
Did it?
Yeah.
It was good. I liked it. Number 7, Sing Street.
Sing.
Oh.
Now that's Sing Street, not Sing, which would be
Not
a third
Sing.
animated movie.
No, I did not see Sing, and I did not want to.
I enjoyed
but
Sing Street. I'm a fan of filmmaker John Carney, who made that film. He did Once and Begin Again, and I think Begin Again was all right, but Sing Street felt like a bit of a return to form for him.
I am 0 for 3 seeing his films. Yeah.
Yep. What do you got
check out
next?
Sing Street.
Yeah, totally.
Number 6 is Lion.
Lion.
Oh yeah.
That's
yeah, I remember that.
that's that fella from Skins.
Dev Patel.
And he's
Dev
looking
Patel.
for Dev Patel, and he's
Right.
looking for his family. It turns out Nicole Kidman's around, and he goes to that small town. That's an emotional scene.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
It is good. I saw it.
Very emotional.
I was super expecting to hate it and ended up being pretty okay with it.
I had a few people strongly pushing me to see it, and that I should resist my urge to avoid the maudlin nature of what it looked like.
But Henry, it's exactly what you think it's going to be, but it's effective on that level.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Number 5, Florence Foster Jenkins.
Oh, hello! You mean the Mrs. Streetfire? That movie looks so crazy to me. I can't.
Wait, Martha, what number was that?
Number 5.
Oh my God!
Heavy hitters.
That is not a heavy
These are
hitter.
the grand slams, the slap shots, the three-pointers, the touchdowns, the curling when the puck gets close to the circle. These are the heavy hitters of the franchise. Heavy hitters.
That was just for you, Martha.
Okay, I'm probably gonna regret this, but Tim did ask me to play his version of the Heavy Hitters.
Oh
theme
my
song.
God! Please play it.
Okay.
Where is it? Well, this is dead air, Martha. What is
Yep.
Is it coming?
Oh God, Tim!
All right. Well.
Tim even ruining the show in his absence.
That's what it was.
All right, sorry, Tim.
Big thanks to Tim.
Yeah.
Yep.
All
As
right.
always.
So, number 3.
Or number 4.
Oh, right.
Number 4 is Hidden Figures.
Sure, hid figs.
Oh, yep, that's what I call it too.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Oh.
Okay.
Number 2, Nocturnal Animals.
Oh,
Yeah,
Henry.
Martha. There
That's
you
Henry's
go.
number 1 for the year.
That's
That was
right.
almost my number 1. I was going back and forth. So
Ain't it great?
Number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really love that movie. So
Glad to
that's
hear
number
it.
2. And number 1, Hunt for the Wilder People.
Ooh.
Oh, I remember when that came out, yeah.
Waititi.
All right.
Yeah, that's great stuff.
You guys seen it?
Yeah,
Nope.
yeah. No, that's great.
Yeah, I love it. So
Okay.
that's my list.
Well,
I
good
love
for
the
you,
list.
Martha. That
What a
was
list
an
it
interesting
is.
list. Pretty.
Thank you.
pretty-
Henry, that was very condescending. That was a pat on the
No.
back.
I am
Martha,
not
for
you.
once, that list wasn't ridiculous.
Yeah.
I am not you, Daniel. I meant that sincerely. And he knows it.
I
Dan
don't have a
knows that I meant
sincere
it
bone
sincerely.
in my body. I'm sorry. It's hard for me to read sincerity. Does that make me a sociopath?
Hard for me to read sincerity.
Okay, so the Fantastic Beasts. Now, this is a movie about that Stephen Hawking kid. He's got a suitcase of beasts, and
Right.
he comes to America like Eddie Murphy once did, and it's sort of like
Correct.
Ellis Island America. It's sort of like what a British person. They've seen Titanic and that movie Brooklyn with Saoirse Ronan, and now they've decided that's what America was like in the 20s.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
and
What an
and-
assessment. Yeah.
Do you think it was something different? Like, were you there or something?
Oh,
Whoa.
jeez! The
Whoa.
gloves are off. No, look. Maybe it's accurate. Who knows? But I don't think that the tension was quite so high between Madges and non-Madges.
That
Well,
was one. Yeah, that was one thing I thought was interesting right off the bat. I think Martha can help me out with that. Why are we not calling them Muggles?
That's a British term, apparently, and in America we have to make it less fun
Less
sounding
creative?
word.
Hey, there was a good fake Muggle. Like, what do they call him? Depp went through a list of like terms for that in the sequel.
Yeah.
And there was one I
The
really
French one
liked.
was it the camp spells?
Yes, that's great.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
That's a pretty good one. Yeah, I didn't catch that either, but one of our patrons pointed it out. So
Yeah,
yes.
that made me laugh in the theater.
I like that Martha has patrons.
We're gonna have them.
We don't have patrons. We just have more like
No,
people
but
who
that's
are
what
just
Patreon
listening.
is, Henry. That's what we're
I
gonna
know,
do.
I know, I'm kidding. I was just a little shout out to our
Listeners?
little listeners. Yes.
All right.
Yes, Nomad.
No, man. So, Redmayne, he's got that briefcase.
It's got those what are they
Just a case.
And what's
They
the
don't call it
little
briefcase.
what's the little platypus thing? I really like that guy.
Nifflers.
Niffler.
Aren't they cute?
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness gracious.
Did we need more of him in the sequel?
Yeah, I could have
yeah.
used it. Yeah, I could have used it. Yeah.
You
And
know,
the babies.
there's a real disconnect in this franchise, or this like sort of sequel franchise, between like the premise is this dude Newt Scamander looking
Yeah.
for beasts and shit, but then there's this whole other thing which is like really digging deep into like the wizarding world mythos. And I feel like they're totally at odds. Like I'm always watching two separate movies at the same time.
I think it feels that way more in the first movie, because it's like, why is Newt the protagonist of a movie about Grindelwald and like about the first Wizarding War?
But the first time I watched the first movie, I didn't even realize that's what it was about.
Yeah, well, that's fair too, because it's definitely more like a fun romp with all the beasts and Newt being awkward and stuff.
It's just episodic. It's just him.
Yeah, but
looking for a
I didn't
beast.
mind that. I didn't mind that at all. I didn't find it to be a disconnect for me. I felt it tied in pretty seamlessly. I mean, I'll just put it out there right now. I love this movie.
the first one.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Yeah, me too.
What?
I think these
Exciting.
movies suck.
Oh no.
Oh wow. Interesting. No.
I think they're fucking boring, and
Oh,
they're
man.
2 hours and 15 minutes,
Oh, they're too long. That's
and
for
there's
sure.
not a
Shorter
good
than every
performance
other
to be
movie.
found.
Oh, I don't
Oh,
think that's
really?
true. I don't think that's true.
This is a Harry Potter movie. Those original 8 Harry Potter movies, they're just like loaded with the best actors ever. And in this movie, we're just stuck with fucking Eddie Redmayne and Dan Fogler and a fine
I like that
frenzy.
guy.
Yeah, me too.
Dan
You're on number
Fogler?
here.
Yeah, I did.
He's
I-
one
I-
of those fucking guys that started showing up in comedies in the mid 2000s, right after School of
Yeah,
Rock was
yeah.
a big hit.
like
and he
a
was
Josh
just like
Gad.
yes, totally like Josh Gad. Just these fake fucking Jack Blacks, these fat dudes that can't act. And now that it's like people are past doing the Jack Black thing, now they're just stuck trying to be like sincere and shit. And I'm not having it.
I didn't mind it. I didn't look at it through that lens, but I mean, I totally get that point. But you know, I wasn't particularly excited to see this, even though I really loved the Harry Potter franchise very much, as you both know. But I really liked this. I just thought it hit all the right notes. It was perfectly there. In not
What notes?
came out wrong. Perfectly there. I mean, what do you want from it? It just comes in. It continues. I thought it would be sort of. I'm sure what Dan is probably thinking, but I didn't. It was not like just a tired extension. A desperate. I thought it might come across as a desperate attempt at an extension of Harry Potter, and it did not come across that way to me.
I don't feel that
I think
way.
it has a cool world in it, and it continued that on with just the right amount of Harry Potter things in there. So it was already very familiar, and didn't have to like reestablish itself that much. I thought it was very cool.
I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah, I think, I mean, I'm glad to hear that you liked it because I wasn't sure.
Who's your
Very
favorite
much.
character?
It
Mine?
was mine.
Both of you.
Alright.
In the first one, I think Queenie is my favorite. I'm a big fan of her.
She's a Nazi
but-
now. Is she still your favorite?
Yeah, I know. So she like has a big weird turnaround in the
That
next movie.
that turn
so-
was earned.
Yeah. So she's not my favorite of the second one. I really like Tina as well. So
Yeah,
I like
Tina-
all of them.
Catherine Waterston.
She was my favorite character.
She's the best performance.
I think the performances are all really good.
I do
much
too.
Much better than the child actors in Harry Potter.
Agreed.
Oh God! But the characters aren't there. They don't listen. The strength of those original movies is that, I mean, one of the strengths is that the characters are on the page. All right, so you already know those characters going in. I know Henry doesn't, but Martha, we do. And
Yes.
in this movie, I just feel like these are ciphers of characters. They are watery beyond belief. And the actors are cast, and they're supposed to imbue these characters with some sort of personality, and they don't. I don't care about any of the main four people in this movie. I had to sit through. Listen, I rewatched this the other day. I saw the last movie, the new one last night. And I've been watching these characters for 4.5 hours now. Have I cared about Dan Fogler and Queenie's relationship for a single fucking second? No.
I just, here's the thing. I had to do a binge watch. I was only able to watch this first one yesterday. So I watched the first one in the afternoon and then saw the second one at night. And I was looking forward to the second one after I saw the first one. I was very interested in the continuation of the characters in the story. So I disagree. I mean, I didn't, I guess you have a point in that I don't know that I need to see all of them through another 7 films, but I think that they are absolutely good characters. I like them. I thought they were engaging, and I mean, Eddie Redmayne took me a little bit to get used to with his mannerisms and his forced shyness at first. But then I guess it just kind of, I got used to it and figured, okay, so that's what he does. I also took into account something that I don't know if is relevant or not, and I was going to ask both of you guys this. We have an absence of, like, I guess I want to say professional screenwriters. So we have J.K. going straight for the screen, and I was wondering if that might account for maybe what, Dan, you might consider some of the thinness.
I think she's as good a screenwriter as she is a playwright.
Yeah, is that because she can't really go into the depth, or
I think
she's not?
She
doesn't know how.
Because this fantastic.
Right.
Both of these movies have the same structure as a Harry Potter novel, which is that at a certain point, like 2/3 of the way through the Harry Potter novel, some shit gets revealed. And then there's just like chapter upon chapter of exposition. This is where she uses like the fucking pensieve and all that stuff. Right. And you know what I'm talking about, Martha, right?
Yes.
Am I right about this?
Yes. Well, okay, first of all, J.K. Rowling did not write Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. She wrote the story for Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. Yes. So that's part of the problem with Cursed Child, in my opinion, is that she allowed somebody else to take her story and interpret it into a script. And I've seen a lot of criticisms of the films being that she's the screenwriter of them. They're saying, like, she should have let somebody else do this. And I have to disagree, being a huge J.K. Rowling stan, obviously, but also because I just think, like, Cursed Child is case in point that when she has somebody else write the script for her stories, they just don't fly as well, in my opinion. So I agree that she definitely took a similar format in terms of the exposition and, like, a lot of, like, scene setting and a lot of going through, like, character development before actually jumping into the action, which she does in the books as well. But I think she...
In Grindelwald, can I just jump into Grindelwald for just a second as an example? You have the Ezra Miller character, who is in the first one, Credence. Yeah, his name's fucking Credence. And he doesn't get anything to do in the first one. He's just an abused kid. And then
he's my LVP.
And then I guess they were like, all right, this kid's going to be the Flash. I guess we should give him some stuff to do in the sequel. He was clearly killed off, and they went back on it. And then they give an explanation for this character. It's a long-ass, involved exposition featuring flashback sequences. And then another dude, or someone else says, listen, that's wrong. This is what really happened. And she gives a long-ass exposition sequence with flashbacks. And then later on in the movie, someone else is like, no, You both wrong. This is what's going on with that guy. What the fuck?
Well,
and by that point, I'm just like, I don't care anymore.
You're essentially you're referring into the second movie, correct? When they're in the tomb. Yeah. That was absolutely and needlessly convoluted. There was no reason for that, especially since there's no real reason for one red herring, let alone 3 or 4, when you're all situated in the same place, and we've already waited 2 movies to figure out who the fuck this guy is.
Just to bring back this fucking poor man's Robert Pattinson into the crew.
Oh, whoa!
There, yeah.
That is some heavy talk for you. You because we know that you really
like
loathe
Robert
Pattinson.
Yeah.
Don't really like him. You loathe him. Yeah. I think you like Robert Pattinson more than you like Leonardo DiCaprio. I'll say that.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I wouldn't go that far.
Wow, points for Leo.
Yeah.
Points for Leo. Okay.
For sure.
Yeah.
Now back. So how'd you feel, Martha, about the side plot in the first one with Ezra Miller?
I think actually the whole obscurial plot in the first movie is one of the most interesting parts of it for me. The actual beasts and that whole plot with Newt's case and all the beasts getting out of it, that's the less interesting aspect of it for me, and it really seems more like that's what's like trying to draw like new fans into it and like kids and like wanting it to be a family-friendly movie where they're just basically like Pokemon going all over the place.
It is like fucking Pokemon. Newt is Ash Ketchum.
Yeah, and so that's the part that I like less in the first movie, and the actual like magic, the new aspect of the obscurial that she introduces, and Credence himself, I really enjoy in the first movie, and I think it's really interesting to like tie that into the overall Harry Potter canon.
Counterpoint, Henry, or agreement?
No, I see what her point. For me, I actually really liked the creatures and all that not little, but kind of major subplot. I like the trip into the trip into the briefcase. If I had any issue with that, it was actually a technical thing.
Oh,
which
God.
is that I was what?
What technical thing? Were you gonna Neil deGrasse Tyson the fucking briefcase now?
No. I literally meant technical. Okay. Special effects I thought were actually quite weak.
Some of them are pretty ropey,
really?
huh? Yeah, I agree.
Oh boy.
Some of them are great. Like the Niffler looks both. Totally both.
Yeah.
The Niffler looks great.
Right.
I think some of the smaller ones, like the little plant fella, he's cute.
Yeah, but like when they go a little bigger, there is so much. I mean, there's one sequence, I think it's when Eddie Redmayne is looking at that bird to spread the rain over the city.
Oh, you mean that part where the bird pisses all over New York and it makes everyone lose their memory?
But it doesn't work on some.
Well, that's happened to me in New York.
Fucking reset button ending. The whole first movie, everything that happens, I'm just like, well, they're just going to have to reset this at some point because I've seen the later movies. These movies have Star Wars prequel syndrome, where it's just we know everything that can't happen.
Well, but I think the fact that the first movie is set in America does like kind of make it its own.
See, I like that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. And I love the America 1926, happening during Prohibition. I dug the music but I got strayed from my point there, which was when Eddie Redmayne was looking at that, bird. It's a very bad idea to have that as a real tight shot because Eddie Red is just staring off kilter off to the side.
It's true.
And this bird is looking at him, and it's just like, oh my God! Like it would have been better just to get it was more realistic, like kind of when comedians would go on the Muppets and they would talk to Kermit, and it was more convincing that Kermit was actually answering them because he sort of was.
Well,
and
stare at the ball, Eddie. The bird is going to be the ball.
Completely.
Look?
Yeah.
Like, what? I don't really get what the problem is in that scene.
It's,
I'm not picturing
it's just
it, maybe.
the eye line's off.
The eye line is so
He's
off
looking beyond
that
the
it's-
bird. The bird's not
it's
really there.
really bad. I mean, it's nothing that
Okay.
a little bit more care could have been taken and it would have worked, but it's just really bizarre. And I only noticed it really because of the other bad effects. I mean, anytime anyone's like petting one of the monsters, it's kind of like they're not really even petting anything. It's just they're not good. You know, it's like we've talked about it many times on the show where certain movies nail it, and then like, you know, the Star Wars prequels are the worst probably offenders ever of the big budget ones. Then the Marvel movies are usually excellent, and the Harry Potter movies, you know, are hit and miss. But this one, I didn't think this so much with Grindelwald, but this first movie was a little rough on the eyes there for some of that
Is
stuff.
the problem with the special effects, is that just with the Beast for you guys, or is that
For me, it was.
Yeah,
yeah.
just the
magic
beast.
special-
No, the
Okay,
magic's
so I-
great.
Yeah,
okay.
agreed.
Yeah, I think that part really shines, and it's like, especially when you compare it to the 8 original Harry Potter movies. Like, we just recently watched the 5th movie for the spot that we're in our podcast, and it just, like, the special effects for the duel between Voldemort and Dumbledore at the end of that movie compared to the duels that we see in both the Fantastic Beasts movies, it's just like such a stark difference.
Yeah.
Like, what was cool back then is not like, it just like looks so lame compared to what they can do now.
Well, a lot of advancements happen. That was a great ep, by the way, Martha, with old Mike Bloom. They had talking about Order of the Phoenix.
I don't think you've heard it yet.
Well, I haven't. I'm just
yet.
trying to promote it. I thought it had come out.
No, it's coming out tomorrow. But
Oh, really? That's exciting.
Yes.
So much Martha talking about movies this week.
Yep.
Yep. All right. Henry,
Yes, sir.
I was watching this movie the other night. I found it almost impossible to pay attention to.
I found myself pretty rapt, gotta say.
I just
Yeah.
feel like there's no
Didn't-
there. I just didn't care about anything. And Catherine Waterston's character is like, you know, like she's this like very stodgy character throughout, and there's no chemistry with Redmayne. And then at the very end of the movie, she like sends him back off to England.
Yeah, there's definitely no chemistry there. That's very true.
Yeah, and she like all of a sudden starts smiling like a fucking schoolgirl. Like, oh, this fucking nerd, he likes me.
First of all, I think it'd be rather impossible to have chemistry with Eddie Redmayne. Second
That's
of
not
all,
true, Henry, because Eddie Redmayne's a poor actor. But listen, I saw that Theory of Everything piece of shit.
yeah,
And the
so
one
did I.
thing you could say about that movie is he kind of had chemistry with Felicity Jones.
Yeah, but he
That
didn't have.
movie is really sad.
But he was just kind of confined to a
What's that? 'Cause
wheelchair.
it's so tough to watch.
I just was crying the whole time.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Oh man, very sad movie.
No one got to you. Hawking
It
in
did.
love.
Yeah.
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 Okay, I didn't know that Eddie Redmayne was considered a bad actor. That's interesting.
He's not.
He's
That's
not.
just
This is
what-
a me
yeah.
thing.
I
My
have.
parents consider him like the Tom Hanks of our generation. So my parents-
Please don't ever say that again.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I don't. That's pretty intense. Wow.
The Tom Hanks of our generation's Shia LaBeouf, okay?
That's right.
Or at least they're supposed to be for a second there.
Right. Oh, man.
The Tom
Yeah.
Hanks of our generation is Tom Hanks. He's still
That's
fucking
right.
killing it.
Well, I just
He's-
mean like he's like a young Tom Hanks. I'm not agreeing with it. I just know.
Where
my
did you...
parents-
Who says this?
My mother and my father. They love
Interesting.
Eddie
No,
Redmayne.
the Tom Hanks of our generation is Chet Hayes. Tom Hanks' white rapper son.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought Colin Colin Hanks was.
Yeah, that's the
Tom
one
Hanks.
everyone knows about. But what about Chet Hayes? Look him
He's
up.
the one that Tom Hanks tries to pretend like they're not related. Type.
Yeah,
of thing
yeah.
going on
He
there.
goes.
I wonder why.
It's Chet Hanks, but he goes by Chet Hayes, and he raps.
Chet Hayes.
Smokes
Yeah.
weed. All right. Fantastic.
Why do I not find anything for him? That's weird.
What? You can't find Chet Hayes?
I found Chet Hanks.
That's him.
He goes by Chet Hayes.
That's his rapper name.
How does he spell Hayes?
Haze.
Oh,
Oh, were you looking up like Yes or something?
yeah, like Rutherford B.
Rutherford B.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I can see why Tom Hanks is not super proud of this guy.
Let's not put words into Tom Hanks' mouth, but
He's the castaway of the Hanks family.
good
Yeah.
one, good
Oh.
one.
Thanks.
Yeah.
He's stuck in the terminal.
Yeah. All right.
They don't want to post anything about him.
You got any more, Henry?
It might be coming, but you can go ahead.
Yeah. All right. Now, are we done
If I
talking about
get-
this movie?
Wait, I got one. Do you want to hear it?
I'm
He's
so ready.
extremely loud and incredibly close to being.
Oh God.
Well, we didn't get much
damn
into
it.
the plot there, Martha. You want to help us out there? Just round it out there for our listeners there.
Like explaining the plot, or just like
Yeah,
talking
you know,
about it?
in a nutshell.
Well, we have the MACUSA, which is the American Ministry of Magic, which in the second movie is no longer going to be referred to as MACUSA because they decided that was too complicated to have a second name.
It is.
Yeah, MACUSA is super like backwards in their like justice system, even more backwards than the British Wizarding Ministry.
Boy, I wonder what country that's based on.
Yeah, but yeah, they just like sentence people to death for like I don't even know what, releasing animals into the city. And
Wow.
yeah, that
Yeah.
death, like lethal injection scene. That's one of the like creepiest scenes in anything I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's a roughie.
You should watch
Yeah.
those
Yeah,
movies.
It's like it sounds good. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Very fair.
All right.
Yeah, I think the plot of this one is good. I think it's a little bit less, I guess, I would say this one's trying to be more family friendly.
Yeah,
so
it's a little airy.
Yeah, and
Yeah, it is a little airy. I thought in a good way, but go ahead.
Yeah, but then the Credence stuff is like complete, like super dark, so it kind of
Yeah.
has that weird like juxtaposition there.
Sure.
What did you think of Colin Farrell?
I want to say that he's my MVP, and I'm really
Wow.
I think he's asked to play a character that doesn't have all his cards on the table because we're supposed to not know he's Grindelwald, and like he's not given that much to do in terms of emoting, but I have
that's
to
right.
say I think Colin Farrell. He was a pretty boy for a while there, a talented pretty boy, and I think the older that this guy gets, the better he gets. He's really worked on his craft, and I think Colin Farrell's turned into a real hell of an actor. And
He's
I
a
enjoyed him.
fine actor. He's one of our finest actors. I've always liked.
And he's taking chances. He's doing Yorgos Lanthimos movies.
I know.
Yeah,
you're
it's
right.
great.
You're right. I mean, In Bruges, The Lobster.
Yeah. I even liked him in that fucking Saving Mr. Banks. You know what I'm talking? Henry froze.
That
Oh,
you like.
boy.
He just took a lot of falls when he got popular because what?
You broke up. What were you saying?
I said I think he started out very strong, like in Tigerland and stuff, and then he just ended up becoming like he took a lot of falls. He took a lot of bad roles, and they got unfocused. But I think you're right. The older he gets, the better he is.
I think he did a McConaughey, where at a certain point he decided, like, maybe I should just do good movies.
Yeah, I think you're right. Although I do think he's probably a better actor than McConaughey. Though I do like McConaughey.
I disagree with that.
More versatile.
Isn't he in Horrible Bosses? That's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
Yeah.
He sure is. Hey,
I thought
that's
he
a
was kind of funny
franchise.
in that.
He was.
Yes,
yeah.
it is. Yeah.
You
Yeah,
guys should do that one.
he's funny in that, but that comb over looks worse than any of the beasts in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah,
right,
no,
so
I like
Colin-
Colin Farrell in this movie too. I think he should have been Grindelwald.
I 100% agree.
Yeah, I can't say as I disagree with that.
Yeah.
Although that's also just kind of my Johnny Depp bias.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, in front of Grindelwald, I saw a trailer for the new Aquaman movie.
Uh-oh.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I got to see that lady that Johnny Depp smacked around.
Yikes.
Oh, really? What's her, who is that now?
You know, Amber Heard, she plays Mera in the new Aquaman movie. She's the one that Grindelwald punched in the face repeatedly. Know what I'm saying?
I do now.
Johnny Depp's
Yeah,
a wife beater. Just saying, gang. All right. So...
Didn't they even want to like stall production on this because of that shit?
No,
Or stall
they
release
did
it?
not.
No. A lot
Some
of people
fans
wanted
did.
them to. Yeah, a
Oh,
lot of people wanted them to recast, but it was after that, so it was like he'd already been like in the movie. I don't know. It was,
Well, because
yeah,
his appearance at the end of the first one was a surprise, as I recall.
yes.
Yeah, not for me because I knew he was in the movie, so I knew that was going to happen. But which kind of made me feel a little bad for Colin Farrell because he's sort of given a role where he's not really a character.
He
you
doesn't
know,
really
which-
get to do the full villain thing.
Well, he's just playing Johnny Depp in disguise, but
Yeah.
you know he's good enough that I think if they would have got a known name to do it, it wouldn't have worked. And I thought it worked with Colin Farrell.
We know Colin Farrell can do an outsized weirdo villain because he's the best part of that fucking Daredevil movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Um,
what do you give this thing?
Martha.
I give it 5. Yeah, 5.
Fucking 5.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
I
so
don't think that's
blown
a
away.
surprise.
None of this is going the way I expected it to.
I figured that Martha would be raving about these films. I didn't think she would not like them.
I don't
Thanks,
know.
Henry.
You know.
What? It's not an
I didn't-
insult. We had you on to talk about the universally beloved best Harry Potter movie, and you gave it a 2.
I did give it a 2.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. I'm still on your side. But yeah, I forgot about that. We did let you shit all over Alfonso.
Oh, Alfonso,
Yeah.
yep. I was hoping we wouldn't have to talk about him.
We won't. We don't have to talk about it. We
We
don't have
won't
to talk
bring him
about it.
up again.
No, it won't come up again.
What do you give it,
Wasn't
Henry?
I'm giving this movie 4 stars.
Oh. I'm giving it a
Yeah.
2.
Oh,
Wow.
just as good as Alfonso's movie.
That is
so much worse.
that is really harsh, man.
thought this
You,
sucked.
That is very, very harsh.
you really thought this movie did, I mean, 2, you know, we've talked about it ad nauseum, but it just did not entertain you at all.
Nothing to care about. Like, there was nothing for me to hang on to. Because, you know what? For even, like, a fantasy movie that I find boring, I can always get wrapped up in, like, the shitty romances. And even this didn't do that for me. I didn't care about anybody.
You didn't care about Queenie and Jacob?
Can you... I mean, listen, this fucking Queenie, played by Barnes & Noble's A Fine Frenzy. You familiar with her, Henry?
No, but what? Go ahead.
She was one of these, like, shitty fucking folk singers that we had to play as, like, a promo at the store when we worked there.
Oh boy.
And she's just like acting in this fucking movie, and she's very beautiful, but like she's not a good actor, and like she's smiley, and we're asked to believe she just like instantly, love at first sight, falls for this schlubby fucking idiot.
He's endearing. She's never met a.
What's
she's never
endearing?
met a guy like him.
He's not funny. He's not
Oh, he is.
interesting. He's not smart. He's not likable. He's fucking ugly.
Well, he
Wow.
says that. He basically says that himself. He's like, well, there's loads like me. And
Yeah,
so maybe
right.
that's what he
And
likes,
that's what's a
humility.
turn on. Fucking self-deprecating fat guys.
But she never gets out anymore, baby. She doesn't meet anyone. She's stuck in the house. She's reading minds and cooking, honey. That's the first guy she's seen.
Yeah. And that's what
Dig it.
turns him on. She just like makes him food and he gets a big boner for her.
Well,
He's a
does-
baker.
Does like the strudel.
Yeah, he does. Oh, he's my LVP.
That did look like a good strudel. Yeah.
It did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's your LVP then, huh? Dan Fogler.
Yeah. Fogler's my LVP. Farrell's my MVP, and I give it a 2.
All right. I'm giving it a 4. My LVP's Ezra Miller. I couldn't take his whining, simpering nonsense.
Fuck that guy.
My MVP for making me care and giving a shit and doing a great job and being better than 1 or 2 and possibly 3 of the Harry Potter movies is David Yates.
You love David Yates.
He's a good director, man.
I love him. You know, Martha, I've seen a lot of like Harry Potter movie rankings like since this movie came out. It's giving, some of these media outlets excuse to do that. And I keep seeing they all put Alfonso at number 1, I'm sorry to say.
Yep.
But
They're all very basic.
do you know what's always in like the bottom 3?
Part 1, Deathly Hallows.
Yes, and that's my favorite Harry Potter movie.
Yeah, that's fucking stupid. Jesus, come on now.
I really like Part 1 a lot too. Definitely top 5 of the 10 that we have now.
Yeah. Henry, are you calling me stupid for thinking that's the best one, or are you calling
No,
the media outlet stupid? Okay.
No, the media outlets. You know I loved the part 1 and 2. I thought I don't remember my rankings, but those 2 were up there. One of them made my top 10 of the year list.
Yeah, Half-Blood Prince, I think. Listen,
Ugh.
yeah,
that was
Henry
before
loved
that,
Half-Blood Prince.
I know. I heard I listened.
Oh,
Yeah.
right, that was
Disappointing.
shut up too. Listen, I Deathly Hallows Part 1, that part where they dance to that Nick Cave song, that is still the best part of any Harry Potter
Okay,
movie.
no, that's the worst part of
No,
it.
get
No.
out of here.
I hate.
Yeah, well.
Maybe it did. Wait a second.
Ezra Miller's The Flash, Colin Farrell's Bullseye. What else you got?
Well done. That's 2 out of 6.
James Newton Howard.
He doesn't
Oh.
count.
Nah.
God,
God, please no. We're not going to start that shit. Can't count composers. All right. Ron Perlman.
Oh, that's right. He plays that stupid fucking God. Remember the diner guy in Attack of the Clones?
Yes.
Remember
yeah.
he scratched his butt and helped out Obi-Wan for a second.
Yeah.
This
yeah.
Ron Perlman character is the Harry Potter version of that character.
That's pretty good. That's very true.
Thank you.
He, of course, is Hellboy, and he is also Dieter Reinhardt in the great movie Blade 2.
Oh, Guillermo del Toro. Guillermo del Toro, of course, one of the 3 amigos. You familiar with that term, Martha?
Just from Survivor, so.
Oh, listen to Martha pulling a fucking Malcolm, Reynolds, and Eddie reference for my Survivor peeps out there. All right. No, the 3 amigos are the great Mexican filmmakers Guillermo del Toro, Alejandro González Iñárritu, and Alfonso Cuarón.
Oh.
Only one of which Dan is sort of a fan of.
Yeah,
Like a little.
Cuarón. Well, they all had good early work. I'm excited for Roma, but anyway, they've won 4 out of the last 5 Best Director Oscars between the 3 of them.
Yeah, for
Pretty
Shape of
amazing.
Water, right? Yeah.
Shape of Water, Gravity, fucking Birdman or The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance, and The Revenant or The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance. Okay, what?
Now let me wrap this up here.
Please do.
Okay. Ron Perlman also, besides Blade 2, was also in the 2011 Conan the Barbarian, playing Corin.
Sure.
And Ron Perlman is now the new recipient of an award I will be giving out periodically of someone who I will not be listing all 49,000 of their cartoon credits.
Okay.
So
yeah.
check
He's got
him
a
out,
good
folks.
voice. He's got a good voice.
Yeah,
I forgot about that character, and I'm changing my LVP to him.
Oh, that character
Oh.
sucks.
I hated
Yeah.
that guy.
Martha, who was
I
your
like the
LVP
scene,
before?
though.
Ezra Miller?
What?
Your LVP was Ezra Miller before?
No, it was his sister. Modesty.
Really? I don't think I ever heard you say that.
Oh,
Maybe,
well,
maybe that was when you were gone.
Maybe, yeah, I was gone
Yeah,
for a
I-
second there. Wait,
My
did we?
LVP is Ron Perlman, everybody.
Ooh.
Oh, who was your MVP?
Who did I? Colin Farrell, yeah.
Oh
But
man.
I was going between him and James Newton Howard.
Oh, see, I missed this
Where it all
entirely,
began.
as did the listeners. So I'm
wow,
glad we
interesting.
got back to
I
it.
would have liked to have seen that James Newton Howard be an MVP. That'd be original. Whoa,
All right, go
Wow.
ahead, do your shtick.
my shtick.
Yeah.
All right. The actor Ronan Raftery is an Irishman who played the little brother of the senator, John Voight's other son, who kind of believes in the magic that's happening. You
Hey,
guys
by the
recall
way,
this?
could you believe we've had Martha on 3 different episodes and covered John Voight twice?
Yeah, I was thinking that too, actually.
That's
yeah.
nuts. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
nuts. Well, this guy, Ronan Raftery, was in Captain America the First Avenger, playing the unforgettable character, the Army Heckler.
Okay.
His brother in the movie, Senator Henry Shaw Jr., played by an actor named Josh Cowdery, was in the Avengers and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., playing a character named Agent Tyler.
Really? Same character in
Yeah,
both of those
look at that.
things?
That's correct.
Man, that's
Yeah.
a little Easter egg for some nerds out there.
Yeah, well, I think what they did with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is they retrofitted it and said, oh, yeah, that guy in the Avengers who was the maintenance man, that was really Agent Tyler. Yeah.
Sure.
And finally, Zoe Kravitz.
Oh, she's
First
Angel.
movie?
That's
Yeah,
right.
you see her in a picture.
About the
right.
picture.
Yeah, Zoe Kravitz. She's Angel in the X-Men First Class. Now, I will say that there's a lot of good actors we didn't mention in the first movie that were totally wasted and given nothing to do. Actors like Samantha Morton and Dan Hedaya. That
Dan Hedaya.
Yep, he's in it.
Which creature did he play?
Don't know. He's in the credits.
Wow.
Yeah. So, would have liked to see. I mean, Samantha Morton. I love that actress. And
Yeah,
she
she's
just
great.
Sucks in this movie.
She's
Did
great.
you see the,
Yeah.
like Salem lady.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right,
She's
yeah.
yapping on the steps at the beginning there.
Yeah, and Zoe Kravitz also played Catwoman in the Lego Batman movie.
Is that true?
Yeah, I don't
All
usually
right.
count those.
Big
but I
Little
figured-
Liza's Zoe Kravitz.
That's right. That's right. So
Shout,
that's the
shout out to
superhero count.
Shandy over there in Monterey. All right.
Yeah, she's gonna be on Big Little Lies.
I know. I know.
Yeah, no, she, like literally was in a scene with Adam Scott. So
Did she have a line?
yeah,
Really?
she said like, "Can I take your bag?" or something like
That's
that. I don't know if I'm
amazing.
allowed to say that actually. So
Shandy?
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah. All right, Fantastic Beasts 2, The Crimes...
Hey Dan.
What?
Hey Dan. You know Shandy was on our show once.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
She-
cool.
She was good.
She was on our show once, Martha. Yeah.
I know. I listened.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
That was
Just
one.
checking.
That's one of our most popular
Talking about
episodes
50
ever.
Shades.
Yeah, 50 Shades of
Oh,
Grey.
I know. It still is, right?
Yeah, I think that it might be, or maybe the sequel. Those 2 episodes are like our most listened to episodes ever.
Wow.
The
Yeah.
highest quality films too.
Yeah. So
Bunch of
great.
pervs in the audience.
Yeah. I think there's
Alright.
people search for those songs on Spotify and they find those episodes.
So instead of listening to that terrible song, I'll listen to a 3-hour podcast
Yeah.
with 2 guys talking about these. Sounds good.
And a lady. All right.
And a lady.
Crimes
3
of
guys and a
Grindelwald.
lady.
Yeah, I watched that show. Ryan Reynolds was in it. So, Crimes of Grindelwald. Here it is. It came out this week. David Yates is back to direct. Joseph Catherine Rowling. What's
Joanne Kathleen.
Joe Kathleen Rowling.
Joanne.
Yeah.
Wow.
Joanne,
but she goes by Joe.
Right. It's 2 hours and 15 minutes again. They didn't learn their lesson. And cost $200 million. And so far it's made $253 million at the box office. It'll do fine. It's underwhelmed a little bit in America. It's only made $62 million here so far, which is less than the first film made in its opening weekend. But it's so big around the world that it's still going to be a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you think of it?
Martha saw it at a special screening, correct?
Yeah, what was that like? Was it packed?
Oh no, it was not packed at all. I am in Montana, so it's very. People are often surprised we even have movie theaters here, but we got the tickets to it, and it was in the IMAX theater. It was not actually an IMAX event, but huge theater, so probably seats like several hundred people. I think there were probably 70 people there. That would be my maybe
so that's
liberal
60 more than were in my theater. So
okay. I don't know. Maybe it was because it was a Tuesday night, but it was at 7. And actually, the best part was I didn't pay. Or I paid like $22 for it, and it started right at 7. Zero previews. So
did they play the original movie?
No.
Oh, I thought it might have been like those Marvel events where they.
Oh no, I wouldn't have gone if they'd done that. 5 hours of movies.
Yeah. Henry, you saw it last night?
I did.
Me too. Tell me about your experience. What
I'll tell you
time
about
did
my
you see it?
8 o'clock.
All right, I saw it first. Should I go first?
Okay. Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I saw it at 7:40, and listen,
Okay.
I bought the tickets, Henry, the day before. Okay.
Right. Thinking it was gonna.
Thinking it was gonna be. It's a new Harry Potter movie. This thing is gonna be sold out.
Right.
So I went. There was nobody there.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah.
It was
Nobody
an
at mine
empty
either.
theater, man. And which was kind of nice. I got the seat I wanted in the back there on the balcony, and I saw it in Union Square. And
all right.
It was fine. I got a bunch of trailers, a lot of kids' movies in the trailers. Hey,
Oh, God,
Henry,
yeah.
did you get this movie? I really envy you, Martha, for not having to sit through trailers on this one.
So do I.
Nice.
Did you get the one? Martha, you ever see A Kid in King Arthur's Court?
No.
All right. This was, I see, now it might be too young for Henry and too old for you.
A kid in not like a Connecticut Yankee and.
It's like that, but it's a kid in King Arthur's Court. And it's the kid from Rookie of the Year. And he goes back in time and hangs out in King Arthur's Court. And they're making like a new movie like that now, where it's like this little kid and he like gets in touch with the round table. Did You didn't see that trailer?
Well, is it still called that? Is that what it was called?
No, it's not called that. I just thought it looked like that.
Oh, well then maybe I did. I really didn't try. I tried not to pay attention.
There was Aquaman. You got Aquaman. I did
not.
I got Aquaman, which looks like a piece of shit. I got Lego Movie 2, which looks pretty charming.
I got that.
You know what fucking looks good?
Don't say Pokemon, please.
I didn't see that trailer.
Oh, I did.
Fuck!
Yeah.
I wanted to see Pokemon. Well, this is the perfect movie for it, because, like, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them really is just a Pokemon movie.
Okay.
And
well, that trailer was very unpleasant to sit through.
No, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
I didn't see that. Well, we saw totally different things.
Yeah, that shit looks good, man.
Huh.
Yeah, so that's what I got. And probably a couple others, but I don't remember.
Yeah, I saw a whole bunch of garbage.
I also sorry. I also got that fucking new Peter Jackson movie that looks like a piece of shit.
Yeah, me too.
Oh my god, that thing looks exhausting.
That was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, unbelievable. That was the one where it's like reveals like at the end a heroine, right? Is a girl who's
it's like it's a
chosen
lady.
one.
It's a lady with a scar.
Oh,
and
yes, the
and
Divergent / Hunger Games
and
/
the cities move. I found that movie. It's called The Kid Who Would Be King. Is this new movie?
Yeah, I didn't see
Yeah.
it. Oh God. Oh, I saw a Bigfoot animated thing, or like the Missing Link.
Really?
Saw that.
Wait, Smallfoot?
Might have been called that, but it had Zach Galifianakis in the role. I don't know.
Who knew?
Looked real bad.
Okay.
Yeah, it was rough going. I because of time, I had to go to my least favorite theater in the entire state of New Jersey, and I paid $5 more than I usually pay because, like you, Daniel, I thought I would be going into a sold-out area.
Yeah.
And so I paid $15 to see this movie. I had the ticket on my phone, showed up at the theater, and walked towards the ticket taker where there was none, and could have just walked in for free. But I'd already paid. So I went up to a manager who was yapping away with her friends, and I said, hey, anybody going to take my ticket? She goes, oh, we don't really do that here. And I said, oh, you don't do that here? Okay. I said, well, I paid for it. So she called over the girl serving popcorn to scan my ticket, and then told me to go ahead. And I said, well, I guess I could have just not paid and gone in for nothing, huh? She goes, yeah, I guess so.
We don't really do that here, like as in pay for movies.
Yeah,
really
right. Yeah, that's a terrible theater. It's a only theater in the history of Henry where I've gotten my money back twice.
Why'd you get your money back? Because of like projection issues?
Projection issues, sound issues.
Like this podcast?
Yeah, completely. Yeah, and they tend to have a guy who walks up and down the aisles timed every 12 minutes with his flashlight to check the fire exits.
Does he have a clipboard?
Yes.
Yeah, I love that shit.
But he only did it once.
What are they writing on in that clipboard?
I'm not sure. And he only did it once, and my seat wasn't too bad, and the couple in front of me only talked for about 40 minutes of the movie.
Oh, good.
So other than that, it was actually all right. Yeah, but if I can ever help it, I'll never go back there. Yeah.
Boy, and on top of that, you had to sit through Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald.
Well, that was the best part. So.
All right, let's talk about it. Martha, I'm excited. I haven't heard your reaction yet.
I loved it.
Nah.
I liked it.
I liked it. I liked it. Not as much as the first one, but I liked it. Yep.
I'm a big fan. I'm excited to see it again. I'm still very confused about a lot of things. So
I don't blame you for that. Yeah.
But I don't mind that because
but see, that's a problem for me because if you, Martha, who hosts a fucking Harry Potter podcast, is confused by this movie, then how is everyone else gonna react?
Well, I'm not confused to the point of not getting the movie. It's just there's things that I need to unpack more on.
I kind of didn't get it. I feel like there were reveals that I didn't totally take it.
Well, they were very difficult to take it we were talking about it briefly in the first part, but the tomb at the tomb sequence at Père Lachaise, right, where everybody's telling their own story, and it's just a lot going on about Credence there.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's one of the major criticisms of the movie that I've seen is too much plot stuff and too much going into flashbacks and stuff like we talked about at the beginning of the show. But I'm okay with it right now. There's a lot of things that I feel like I need to watch a few more times and really figure out how I feel about it. But I think right now I'm just I was very entertained by the movie. I was very happy with a lot of things that they did, and I don't get too hung up on whether it fits into the Harry Potter canon or not, because it's its own thing to me. Even though it could fit into Harry Potter canon, it's not if there's an inconsistency, I can just write it off as being still kind of its own thing. So I don't consider it to be the whole. I don't know. I feel like all the plot stuff doesn't really contradict what happens in the later movies, or the earlier movies, I guess.
I don't necessarily care about contradictions. I just think they overestimate my interest in the minutia of the family tree of the fucking Lestrange family.
Which I was actually still trying to figure out. I guess, are we eventually going to understand, or am I supposed to already have gleaned to where Beatrix comes from?
Well, Bellatrix is married into the Lestrange
Bellatrix,
family.
sorry.
Yeah, it says
Oh,
married.
she. Oh, okay. I didn't catch that.
Yeah, they
And
say
her-
that.
Yeah, I mean, well, she's married to Rodolphus
Oh.
Lestrange. We don't know how he's related to Lita.
Oh, now you're coming in garbled.
Oh, no. I am.
Yeah, I don't know about this mic. All right.
Mike's problem.
Yeah, it's okay.
She sounds like the Predator.
She kind of does. Yeah.
Is this better?
Yes.
It is?
Yes.
Okay. Should I say my thing again?
Yes.
Where did I... Just, like, from Bellatrix, basically?
Whatever you want.
Yeah, Bellatrix is married to Rodolphus Lestrange. We don't really know where Rodolphus comes in terms of how he's related to Lita, but
okay.
probably a either grandson or like great nephew, something like that. So Bellatrix is married into that family.
Lita
I
is
see.
Zoe Kravitz.
Yes.
Boy, someone overestimated her ability to do a British accent.
Oh yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, she's not the only one. There were.
Why are we casting non-Brits to play British people in a fucking
I
Harry
thought that was
Potter
a
movie?
rule. Wasn't that a rule
It
of
was in
JK's?
it was in the
The
original
original
8.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought J.K. Simmons was very, very adamant about that, and
Simmons.
now it doesn't matter anymore. I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, J.K. Simmons played a huge role in the casting of the Harry Potter movies.
Parker. I think he did.
J.K.
Yeah.
Simmons would have been pretty good Grindelwald.
J.K. Simmons went to the same school as me.
Oh, look at you.
Look at that. Got a little
Fancy.
whiplash there.
I
Oh,
almost-
what is this? What is this going to be the whole episode?
Hey, we got to get something out of it.
Yeah, superhero count. All right. Fucking so Johnny Depp's all over this fucking movie because Farrell turned into him at the end. He's got a blonde wig. He's just a series of ticks because that's what Johnny Depp performances are now. He's got a little contact in one eye. I have an ex-girlfriend who wears one of those, and
One?
yeah, just one.
Is it an Arctic hue?
Yeah, it is.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
and
Yeah, what did we think about the Depster here? Because he's doing what I've hated him doing for about 18 years. But
yeah, Martha, did he really knock you out?
Well, I've not. That joke is wow. So I didn't talk about Johnny Depp very much on our reaction show because I know he's very controversial in terms of all the stuff with Amber Heard, and I didn't want to get into that.
but you can still talk about him, right, as an actor.
I guess, yeah. I will here at least. I was disappointed with that he was casted in the first place, but I was like surprisingly pretty okay with his performance in this. I didn't think he overacted it.
Yeah, I didn't
much as-
either.
Yeah, and I think that's it comes from I think he actually respected this role, and he seemed to kind of get like who Grindelwald is supposed to be, and I feel like he actually filled Grindelwald's shoes.
I do
at
think
least.
he understood that all eyes were on him in this role. and
that's a good point.
He sort of really tried to go for it. And I know he read the books and he, whatever. I did like the part where he used his wand like a conductor stick,
I thought that was cool, actually.
I did. I'm not joking. I liked that moment.
No, I'm not either. I thought that was an interesting touch, and I actually wondered. I wasn't even sure if that's what he was intending it to be like. But I
definitely.
thought, well, then I like that because I was like, if that was a creative choice on his point, that's pretty cool.
The second I saw him doing that, I was like, it's amazing no other actor thought to do that in 8 movies.
Right, it's very true. Because you could think like, didn't they? They were like, I remember when we were covering Harry Potter, they were like talking about wand motions and trying to like create an actual way of
Helena
moving them.
Bonham
And
Carter
nobody
did some weird shit with it, but not a lot of other people did.
But you would think that a natural thing to do would be, oh, hey, we can actually try to just imitate a conductor, or maybe even a certain conductor, and nobody would know, but it would help your performance maybe in a subtle way.
Sure.
You know?
Sure.
Yeah. So if Johnny Depp was being Johnny Depp normally, he would be like a Leonard Bernstein, and he would be chewing the scenery and jumping up and down. But he didn't do that. He was more restrained.
Sure.
That was for nobody.
Yeah. So this movie, what is it? What happens? What's the plot?
MK.
I mean, we go to Paris, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah. But what's the plot? What's the narrative thrust?
Well, okay, I think the most interesting part of this movie is the Dumbledore-Grindelwald relationship, which got a lot of, like, feedback, or I guess a lot of press beforehand, because they had announced that they weren't going to make Dumbledore explicitly gay in the movie, and people were very upset about that, because it's 2018, can we please be just like open about this stuff? And I think that they did a good job of showing the Grindelwald-Dumbledore relationship. I was pleased with it more than I was expecting to be, based on like the press that we got beforehand.
The moment that fucking Dumbledore they says like he was close to Grindelwald, and someone else says you were more than friends or something whatever audience was in my theater burst into laughter, and I started laughing at that, and I thought that was pretty great. I liked that moment, and I gotta say overall, this movie reminded me for a minute there why I love Harry Potter so much, because we got back to the school setting, and I really fucking loved everything involving Hogwarts. And I gotta say right up front, the saving fucking grace of this Crimes of Grindelwald movie is, I think, one of our finest actors, Jude Law, is fucking great as young Dumbledore.
He's my MVP.
I think he's the best Dumbledore.
Oh, 100%.
He's great. Yes. He's fantastic, yeah.
He's really good, yes.
The young Pope! Waving a wand
coming back
around.
soon.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Growing a beard and another type of papacy.
All right, yeah, young Pope. Anyway,
young Pope.
Jude Law,
HBO.
I loved him.
I thought he was
my
great.
MVP.
He's my MVP, too.
He's my MVP, too.
Oh, look at that. I found it interesting because didn't we mention this in one of the Harry Potter shows about the whole didn't J.K. Rowling essentially say all of that stuff about Dumbledore being gay like way after the fact, and like retrofitted everyone's mind to like because
It was like a year after the
okay, so it's bullshit. I mean, she's trying to like.
She never thought of him as gay the entire time.
Right,
she was
and so it was real. I just found that very, very stupid. I couldn't get it out of my head because I mean, if you're gonna, why even? It was just such a phony move. So it was just kind of like, you're going in the movie now, and it's like, okay, so that would be fine, but it's not even genuine. Like, it's not even where the character came from.
Rowling has retrofitted herself as a liberal. And it's like Harry Potter is one of the least diverse fucking franchises in movie history. There's no important black characters in the entire fucking history of the franchise. You'd have to like dig as deep as Kingsley Shacklebolt to find a decent black character, and all of a sudden now, like she's retrofitted herself as liberal, and Dumbledore is always gay, and
right? So
Hermione's black now. It's
right,
it's admirable on some level, but at the same time, it's like maybe you should have done that shit in the first place, buddy.
Yeah, well, okay, that's definitely all fair. I definitely have seen a lot of criticism like that. The thing is, J.K. Rowling wrote this relationship between Dumbledore and Grindelwald into the 7th book. That was already there. She didn't explicitly say, like what the relationship was, and then in the interview she kind of has a tendency to sort of just like say stuff in interviews that doesn't like then gets blown up, and it's like everybody gets mad at her for saying something or mad at her for not saying it sooner. And she just kind of said, the quote was like, I always pictured Dumbledore as gay, and it was like not really like supposed to be this huge reveal. It was supposed to be just kind of her like just talking about how she was saying, like, that's why he never had a wife. And I get it, like, that it was kind of like, okay, you could have definitely done that sooner. But the relationship between Dumbledore and Grindelwald definitely is there in the 7th book, with the all the flashbacks with the Rita Skeeter book and everything. And as soon as she said that quote about him being gay, everybody jumped on the Dumbledore-Grindelwald.
But what about Dumbledore? Why is Dumbledore fucking Grindelwald? He's a fucking insane person.
Well, Grindelwald has a very powerful manipulation. He's very good at that, and he was able to take advantage of Dumbledore's thirst for power back when Dumbledore was a teen, and that's this whole plot that's in the 7th book, where Harry learns that Dumbledore was actually part of what helped Grindelwald rise to power, and was actually like originally on Grindelwald's side until it went a little bit further than
listen. We better see Jude Law and Johnny Depp make out in this franchise.
I mean, that's the thing. If you're gonna say it and you're gonna imply it, and then and then heavily imply it, I mean, you don't have to have them make out, but I mean, just
I want to
just
see
say
penetration.
Just. I mean, just say it. It's just like so silly. It's like, because it's, you know what, it almost accomplishes the reverse of what it's trying to accomplish, because it's still making it like a hush-hush taboo thing that can't be said. So it's like you have these flashbacks of the two young versions, and it's just like, what are we doing here? It's like either it is or it isn't. And it's like, have some balls. I mean, come out there, and I don't understand it, and it just, I think it's disingenuous. That's all.
I agree.
I mean, it's not a major part. Go ahead. You were going to say it's taking place in the 1920s?
Yes, I was.
Yeah, and I thought about that already myself when I was watching it, but it's the Wizarding World.
Which you might argue is even more backwards in a lot of its social justice.
I was going to say that it was
filthy
probably more forward thinking. Because
what about all the filthy mudbloods?
Yeah, I think this is a common theme in Harry Potter, and we're getting like way off the rails of Crimes of Grindelwald here.
It's okay. It's interesting. I mean, it's an interesting tangent.
I mean, I think that it's a big theme in Harry Potter that minority wizard and like minority beings in Harry Potter are often like really oppressed and super ostracized, even more so. I mean, it definitely has parallels to our Muggle society, but I think she kind of actually exaggerates it in the Wizarding World to a point of being like even worse, because she wants to draw
political
attention to
satire.
It so
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's all true, I think, what you said. But at the same time, they're always looking at humans sort of like the X-Men look at humans. Like, we're devolved, and we're intolerant, and we're savage, and we're cruel. I mean, Grindelwald shows us a flash forward of World War II.
But that's fucking Grindelwald, man. He's supposed to be like the Hitler of the fucking Wizarding world.
Right.
Like, in general, like, the people who are actually in power see us as allies or whatever. But, or at least, just a parallel world.
Workable.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the whole, like, plot with Dumbledore that we get in the 7th book. It's hardly in the 7th movies. But it's just that Dumbledore had this weird thing with his father. I guess his father got involved with some Muggles, and it was a Muggle killing. And so then Albus Dumbledore did not like, didn't really have the respect for Muggles that a lot of that he ends up developing as he grows up. And so that's why he and Grindelwald originally bonded, is seeing this idea that wizards should be on top of society and that wizards should have domain over Muggles.
That's right. He didn't like
we
his
got
father,
a real,
so he found a daddy.
Okay.
So we got a real Magneto Dr. Professor X.
It's a totally Magneto Professor Xavier ripoff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't know which one came first, but
one of them was created in the 60s.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, what'd you think of bringing in like history with the weird World War II flash forward at the end of this? We see the fucking atom bomb go off.
You can see the Titanic. That was weird.
I didn't notice.
The Titanic. I didn't catch that.
That's how Credence. That's how Credence's real mom died.
That was the Titanic?
That's what somebody told me. I didn't get that either, but
1927.
Credence's mom died aboard the Titanic? What was she, the fucking unsinkable Molly Brown?
Well, it's 1912. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay, fair enough.
But it was definitely like Titanic, like parallel. So that was a lot.
Yeah.
Near, far, wherever you are. Yeah.
We went with different. Well, you've never seen Titanic, so you couldn't dig as deep as I did.
No, just the Celine Dion. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I liked the sequence when Eddie Redmayne becomes his brother Theseus, and goes into that like book stack, and I thought that was a cool
weird.
little sequence. Not that creative on the name front, Theseus and the Minotaur going in the labyrinth there, but then again, she likes her Greek mythology. So that was, I thought that was a cool scene. You didn't like that, Dan?
No, thank you.
Boring.
Don't need to know anything about Newt's relationship with his brother. I'm good.
I think it's interesting.
So did I.
One thing that a lot of Harry Potter fans have kind of latched onto with Newt is that he's a Hufflepuff, and we haven't had a Hufflepuff hero before.
It's true. And what we've learned is Hufflepuffs are boring and they don't work as heroes.
They don't pick sides. Yeah, and I think that's why the relationship with Theseus is interesting, because Theseus is very clearly a Gryffindor to me, and so we kind of see like how their like worldviews kind of clash with each other.
Oh, I have a Harry Potter nerd question.
Oh boy.
Sorry, it's for Martha.
Okay.
But when Lita visits Newt in Hogwarts in the flashback when they're kids, and she gives Newt, or he shows her like a bird, and he says it's a raven, and he says it's your family tree. Was that supposed to mean she's a Ravenclaw?
No, the mascot for Ravenclaw House is actually an eagle.
What?
Yeah, I think it's not a real thing in the Harry Potter series, but I think it's kind of like a Game of Thrones sort of like family.
Got it. Family crest.
There was all
thing.
that
All
setup with the Phoenix though from Chamber of Secrets. Right?
Yeah. I was waiting for that Phoenix.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what was Dumbledore's other brother's name in the other movies? What was his name?
Aberforth or Aberforth.
Oh, God, was that confusing to me at the end with that big twist.
Aurelius.
Yeah, the Aurelius Dumbledore. Yeah.
Isn't that
Aurelius
your middle
Dumbledore.
name?
Yes. Yeah.
That's your middle name, Henry?
My middle name's Aurelian, but it's the Latinized version of Aurelius. Yeah, after Marcus Aurelius. That's correct.
Not after Aurelius Dumbledore.
I'm older than Dumbledore.
You are.
Yeah.
Aurelius Dumbledore, it's a weird twist, and I'm not totally buying it yet. I'm hoping it's a
Is
fake
he
out on
referenced in the
Grindelwald.
books, Martha?
Absolutely not.
No,
That is a really young brother.
He's a new Dumbledore?
I hope it's not a brother. I hope if it is a real thing that it's like he's related somehow, but not.
Wikipedia says it's his brother, so that's just what it is.
Okay, well.
What about Potterpedia?
I'm still holding on to hope that it's a fake out on Grindelwald's part, that he doesn't have this information. I really, really, really hope it's not.
Well, that's possible. Why do you really, really hope it's not?
It's cute. It's just.
Oh,
cute.
yeah. Got it.
I really
Got it.
don't like that.
I have a Harry Potter nerd question for you, Martha.
Okay.
There's one shot where we see a house elf cleaning something. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Maybe.
Was it Creature?
No, I don't think it's pretty. I mean, it's probably one of Creature's like friends.
Sure.
There's all the house elves' heads on the wall of Grimmauld Place.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Good question though.
Thanks. Okay. What else do you want to talk about? I liked that Newt's assistant who wants to fuck him. That was my favorite part of the movie.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
She was very, she's very much like Molly and Sherlock. I don't know if you guys are Sherlock fans.
I haven't watched the Cumberbatch Sherlock.
No.
Well, there's a character like exactly like that. It was like, yeah. So it just didn't feel very original to me.
Cumberbatch would have been a better Newt, I think.
I think he was actually considered.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I
Or
said,
Domhnall Gleeson.
I'm a big Domhnall Gleeson fan.
Are you? From
Yeah,
what?
well, I
Yeah.
like Domhnall Gleeson. Yeah.
Although it's pronounced Doniel, apparently.
I have no idea. I don't know. I should
One
know
of our-
that. I'm Irish. But yeah.
Saoirse Ronan.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Well, Gleason's a very good actor, though. He's pretty
About time.
diverse, I think. I don't know about this Redmayne fellow.
Well, they couldn't cast him because he's Bill Weasley in the Harry Potter movie.
Oh, that's
So-
right.
Oh, Jesus Christ. My God.
I forgot about that. Oh, Bill Weasley. He's a good Weasley. He's one of the best, I would say.
I was gonna say, did you guys enjoy the scene where they pulled the water beetle out of that guy's eye?
Kind of I did. Yeah, I did like that moment.
That was just completely
I wish it was
reminiscent.
grosser.
Oh.
Yeah, for us Prometheus fans, that was right out of that, identical. Do you remember that, Dan?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Toomey probably not.
I do. No, I totally do. That was
Yeah,
that's a good
Numi
moment.
Rapace's boyfriend has the exact same parasite with the exact same motion coming out of his eye, but that's okay. It was fine.
That thing had like no payoff. It was like he was acting so weird, and then they were like, "Oh, it's just a parasite that's in his eye." And then
True.
like that's the whole thing. That
It
didn't.
was a
make
little
sense.
confusing.
There
Yeah.
was a
I
lot
thought
like
I-
that. What was up with Fogler was enchanted at the beginning by
Yeah.
Queenie, who was like
Yeah.
wanted to marry him. Like, what was the deal? Like, he didn't want to marry her?
Because in America at the time, they had extremely backwards laws in the wizarding community where they were not allowed to marry muggles or no mages because that was considered like, I don't know, mixing blood or something was not good. Something super messed up. Yeah, so Jacob did not want to marry Queenie because he thought he'd be putting her in danger because she'd be breaking the law by marrying him.
Oh, he's nuts.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely Queenie would just be fucking begging to marry this tub of shit.
I love Jacob, so I I normally don't like characters like Jacob, but
I liked him too. I
think he's really endearing.
I agree completely
Oh
with you,
my
Martha.
God.
I just like Dan calling him a tub of shit.
Tub.
Yeah, he sucks. Anyway, any other stories in this that you enjoyed? I liked everything at Hogwarts and nothing outside of Hogwarts.
Oh man.
You want to talk about Nagini? I don't know.
Yeah. I was gonna.
Oh
bring that
my
up.
God! Who knew that Voldemort's snake was a hot Asian lady?
Yeah, we talked about this on our reaction show on my podcast, The Real Weird Sisters. But it's kind of Alice and I both agree that we kind of wish that she was not named Nagini, that we could kind of be like, oh, maybe this is Nagini, and not like be told that this is Nagini.
I agree. I
Yeah.
thought it was really interesting that her
Yeah.
name was Nagini, and then they flat out tell you in exposition, like,
Right.
not only does she turn into a snake, but one day she won't be able to not be a
Yeah.
snake.
And I mean, I actually really liked her character, and I thought she was interesting, and like an interesting, like, complicated
I like that
character.
she didn't go over to the dark
Yeah.
side of the blue flame. I thought who went and who didn't was particularly captivating, I have to say.
Really,
Yeah, super
Queenie?
fascinating.
That made sense to you?
No, it didn't.
I don't think
But
it's supposed to make sense yet,
but
though.
Nagini not going left open quite a lot of questions, so that was
Right.
interesting.
Well, I would think,
And-
is Voldemort like keeping her under lock and key?
I mean, the thing is, and
Well, Voldemort, is he even a thing yet? Is Tom Riddle even around?
No, he's not
no.
born yet, I wouldn't think.
but
Oh,
the
you
thing
mean
is-
like when she's a snake? Is he
Yeah.
keeping her like? Oh, I never got that impression, but yeah.
No, because Nagini like shows herself to be like a bloodthirsty creature in the movie.
Right, that's right.
Uh,
right.
Like we know Nagini, like Nagini's not just doing this because she's like possessed by Voldemort, even though he does possess her many times, and she is a Horcrux as well. But I don't
Right.
think that she's only behaving that way because, like, I never got the impression that she's only behaving that way because she's a Horcrux. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen to explain how she became this like super bloodthirsty evil creature.
I
Because
think
she's not
this-
that way at all in this movie.
This opens up a very important question in the Harry Potter series, and that is Voldemort fucking his snake?
um,
Because Voldemort is a very snake-like man. Perhaps he
Right,
has an
right.
attraction to snakes. And since this particular snake used to be a woman, she's
Right.
sort of trans snake. She, I think he could be having a sexual relationship with this girl.
I like to think that Voldemort does not get around, even though Chris Child says something different. I think the fact that he's so anti-love maybe shows us that maybe he doesn't do that kind of thing. But
Anti-love, but we don't know about anti-lust. And how would you fuck a snake, do you think? Do you think he's using it sort of like a man would use a towel in a locker room? Know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
probably.
Oh
Go
God.
back and forth.
Oh God. Mercy, mercy, mercy.
Oh,
And this actress, Nagini, played by Claudia Kim, who then is also, she's the sort of possessed love child of perhaps Voldemort, and then also of Ultron, Dan. Of Ultron.
oh yeah, she's superhero account.
She's Helen.
Yeah,
Cho.
she's that scientist he's working with.
He's under a spell, the Hawkeye spell.
Yeah. There's a good Asian actress in the first Fantastic Beasts with even fewer lines of dialogue, by the way. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't
She's
remember.
on like the whole council. What do they call it? The Nikani or something?
Makuza.
Yeah.
The Yakuza.
The Yakuza. Yeah, I don't remember. Anyway, go on. What else do you have to say about this movie?
Not much more. I mean, I liked it a lot. I think that the Hogwarts thing was really cool. When we kind of knew we were going there, that was really neat. I really did like the way they wrapped it up. I could have done without the final shot being of the Flash, but but I liked when Jude Law and Newt Scamander kind of walk off on the bridge together, and I thought that was really cool, and I liked how. I thought it was very cool because I didn't know when that whole big, what do they call those TED Talks when Grindelwald was giving the TED Talk. When the blue flame was around there, I didn't know what little Niffler was doing because he was just running around, and I thought they wisely kind of made you sort of forget about that.
Crawled right over Grindelwald's feet, and
Yeah.
and as you know,
He's not very.
Nobody ever notices little creatures crawling over their feet.
No, well, people like that,
A lot of other stuff on his
megalomaniacs.
mind.
Sure,
Yeah,
I get-
exactly.
He's in the moment. Yeah.
He's in the moment. He's too busy berating the fake news media, and then later on, we find out that little Niffler stole that thing, that little blood pack
Yeah.
thing. That was pretty cool.
He's turned into a real fan favorite, that Niffler.
He's a hero, that little
Jar
Jar
guy.
Jar
he was.
Binks of the Fantastic
Yeah, he's
Beasts.
a hero, and so is that little Groot figure, whoever the fuck
Yeah,
that was
he
called.
is
Who was
a
that?
Groot.
Pickett. Yeah, he picked some locks.
Yeah, very creative name for him.
I liked the shark thing. That was my favorite beast in this
Kelpie?
one. Yeah.
Oh, is
Yeah,
that the
that's
like
pretty cool.
seaweed creature?
Did you guys think this was bad special effects in that
I
scene?
did not. I did not.
No, that was okay, I guess.
That might have also been an effect of seeing this one in the theater, and
Yeah,
maybe
that's true.
the dynamics were better. You know, the audio's better, the visuals are better. It loses something in the DVD
My
translation.
audio was not that great. My theater had a buzzy speaker. It was annoying.
Yeah, my audio was low, but the projectionist was actually, I believe, somewhere in the building, if not in the booth. Good. So it wasn't that too bad. Yeah.
Okay.
I did have a good audio feed from the guy in front of me, though, who was on Facebook Messenger. So
nice. Hey, I'll say I thought that the running joke about him wanting to tell Catherine Waterston that she has eyes like a salamander was pretty charming.
I thought that was very funny, and I thought that Dan Fogelberg did a good job of saying when he said "Don't say that." I thought he was funny.
Yeah, no, that worked for me. And the scene where he was finally going to do it.
Yeah,
I was getting nervous for him, so I guess that's a good sign.
Oh, so you cared a little bit.
I cared a little bit this time, yeah.
A smidgen.
I did get a little annoyed with the, him not telling her right away that he's not engaged.
Oh, my.
Yeah, that was like an old-timey meet cute there where you could resolve everything in one sentence.
That's a thing.
He's too awkward.
That's a thing Roger Ebert used to call the idiot plot.
Yes,
where it's a long-running plot line in a movie that can be resolved with one line of dialogue. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, the idiot plot.
Anyway, what do you give this one?
I'm giving it 3 stars.
Okay. I thought you were getting ready to give it a 5 or some shit.
No. It didn't quite work for me as well as the first one, although I liked the final sequence very well, and I loved the Hogwarts stuff. Johnny Depp was not as irritating as I thought he would be. I just thought it was a little thin, so I'm going to go 3. And my MVP is going to be Jude Law, and I'm trying to think about my LVP, so I'll let you guys do yours.
Martha?
I give it 5 stars.
Jesus Christ!
Wow.
I think you already knew, though, because I said I liked this one better than the first one.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
I gave the first one 5 stars, so...
All right.
5 stars, MVP Jude Law as well, and I think I'm going to go with that weird, no, I can't remember what it's called. Those cat things at the ministry.
No, those were good.
I like those, like the lynxes.
Yeah, I liked that. I did not like the giant creature that acted like a cat.
Yeah,
the Chinese stereotypical thing from that J.K. Rowling saw on a Chinese restaurant menu.
Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah, that's
I thought that thing was cute, but I agree it was pretty. Didn't really have any payoff with it. But those weird panther things at the ministry.
I dug those.
I did too. The eye design was cool.
Yeah. Oh, I just thought of my LVP.
Who is it?
How I didn't think of it sooner. That's gonna have to be. Are You Gonna Go My Ways? Zoe Kravitz.
That's my LVP.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she can't do an accent. So, and I've liked her in things. I actually was really impressed with Zoe Kravitz in Big Little Lies, but no thank you in this one.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'll give it a 2, and MVP Jude Law, LVP Kravitz, and there you have it.
Boy, that's one very interesting diversions here.
I'm not into these Fantastic Beasts movies, and I'll tell you what, they're planning 5 of these.
Oh yeah,
that's too many.
That's a lot.
This should be a trilogy tops.
It was gonna be a trilogy, and then J.K. Rowling got writing, and she was like, "No, this is gonna be 5." And the weird thing about it is that it's gonna end in 1945, because that's when Grindelwald gets defeated in the final duel between Grindelwald and Dumbledore, which has been canon since the very first book.
So it's gonna be like fucking Revenge of the Sith, where everybody knew for years, we're gonna get to the 3rd one, and this kid's gonna turn into Darth Vader, and then you went to go see the movie, and that happened. And
Yeah.
so, like, all it's going to be is in another 3 fucking movies, we get to see Jude Law beat up Johnny Depp. And and they better make out.
I think.
I don't think Johnny Depp's going to be back, to be honest.
Yes, he will.
Oh, what?
I don't think he's going to. I don't know if he'll. I mean, he may overcome this latest bad thing he's done, but I don't know about him being associated with a movie like this.
Henry,
He's already overcome this thing.
Yes, he's the villain of this franchise, and they're all standing by him.
Really?
Yeah.
Are
Yes.
they? Oh, are they? I didn't know that.
Yes.
Are they really?
Well, they cast him knowing it. Like,
Yeah.
That thing happened like several years ago. It's been very.
Jeez.
Anyway.
And by that thing, you mean the thing where Johnny Depp kicked the shit out of a woman.
Correct.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just the thing I was trying to say is that 5 movies, first 2 are set within like 12 months of each other, take place over the course of like several months in 1927. The final movie is going to jump to 1945 somehow, so it's weird that the first 2 take place within a year of each other, and then the next 3 are all going to span 18 years.
So what, are we going to get, like a 50-year-old Newt Scamander?
Apparently. I think he's supposed to be like early 20s, actually, which is kind of hard to buy.
We're going to get a 50-year-old Henry by the time the franchise is over, I'll tell you that. Because it'll be at least be 10 years old. Yeah. Right, it'll be 10 years from now.
I don't know. I feel like they're going to do one every 2 years. We'll see. I'd love to see David Yates make a non-Harry Potter movie.
Me too, actually. Yeah.
Huh? All right. Superhero count, Henry?
Yes, I do. And here we go. There's a 3 count.
Oh, God. It's too loud. Move it away from the mic. Thank you.
Claudia Kim, who played Nagini, was in Avengers of the Age of Ultron.
Avengers of the Age of Ultron.
Playing Helen Cho.
Okay.
David Sakurai, who played the kind of surly henchman of Grindelwald's, who he wanted to basically asked him if he was loyal or not, and then ends up dying. You guys remember who I'm talking about? The Asian fella?
Sure.
His name is Crawl.
Crawl, that's right. That's right. He played in the very successful and best of the Marvel Netflix Iron Fists. He played a character named Scythe. Like a scythe.
Cool.
Yeah. And my favorite one, here it is, kids. This guy's filmography took all the way till next year, but Jude Law will be in Captain Marvel.
Oh, yeah? We don't know who he's playing, right?
Well, we do, yeah.
What?
He's playing Walter Lawson,
right?
Who is Marvel.
Well, but we think he's going to be Marvel.
Oh, is that correct?
Yeah, like they won't confirm that yet.
Oh,
all right. Yeah. I look forward to the Jude Law dying of cancer storyline somewhere down the line in these Marvel movies. So, Henry, for fuck's sake. You garbage pieces of shit out there listening to this fucking podcast.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah, just leave a fucking 5-star rating on iTunes, you garbage people. You tubs of shit. You fucking Dan Foglers.
Leave us a star. You don't have to write nothing. We won't know who you are. For fuck's sake, you motherfuckers. For fuck's sake.
Yeah, I hate you.
I think you were saying something, but
yeah,
you got the point across.
Yeah. So anyway, leave a 5-star rating or review on iTunes. And you can follow us on Twitter at PodFranchise and follow me on Twitter at LowStakesDaniel. I got into a Twitter war with Shut Up Tim with a bunch of Zack Snyder fans this week.
Saw that.
That was insufferable. I had to block 30 people.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
What was going on there?
It went on and on for like days with just like it was like Tim like tweeted some joke and these Zack Snyder fans they just like search the name Zack Snyder and like fight people that are talking about him, and it was fucked up. It was unbelievable, and they kept talking about the Snyder cut of Justice League, and it was insane.
Why you should not get a Twitter, Henry.
Yeah.
No shit.
Tim and I talked about that. Like, this is the reason Henry won't get a Twitter.
I don't want any parts of that.
Yeah, I know.
That sounds awful and exhausting and juvenile and a time waster.
It was really annoying.
That's terrible. Sorry to hear that, my friend.
That's okay. Madison Apitz wanted to know what I thought of Christopher Robin, and I loved it. All
right.
There you go. She also enjoyed the Grease reference in the Blade Runner 2049 episode. Okay. And,
all right.
Yeah. What else we got?
I got an email from her again. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to find it here, but you continue.
All right. And someone wanted me to rank Judd Apatow movies. Logan B. Adair, since you'll probably never get to talk about Apatow again on the podcast, will you rank the Apatow directed movies?
Didn't we do that?
I don't know if we did. Number one,
There's only like 5 of them.
Number
right?
1, Knocked Up. Number 2, Funny People. Number 3, This Is 40. Number 4, 40-Year-Old Virgin. Number 5, Trainwreck. That's my ranking.
Oh, okay. Mine would be slightly different, but
Okay.
That's all right. They asked you. So
That's right.
Fine.
That's right.
That's right. That's right.
Tim wants us to cover Wreck-It Ralph 2. Danimal Control wants you to finally watch Fitzcarraldo and Blowout.
I'm trying, my friend. I'm trying.
Danimal Control also found some straight-to-TV Midnight Run sequels from the 90s starring Christopher McDonald and wants us to cover
Yeah,
Midnight
I know what he's
Run.
talking about. I know what he's talking about. Yeah.
I think that's a pretty sweet idea. And,
I agree.
And,
well, I'd be thrilled
and
because you'd get
frankly-
to finally see Midnight Run.
Yeah. And a lot of people want us to officially get a new segment with the, what do they call it? The I Have Something to Tell You, Henry segment.
Is that when
where
you
I give you bad news?
Oh, that's a pretty priceless part of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Shut Up Tim
That
wants
wouldn't be
a
all the
t-shirt.
time, but when we have it, yeah.
Shut Up Tim wants a t-shirt that says R.I.P. Ugly Baby. And All Terrain Biker wants a t-shirt that has a title that says Best Movies of 1995 and then a top 10 list of movies from a different year. That's something I've been doing lately. Or a list of 10 documentaries. And Bob O'Rourke agrees with Ghostbusters. He thinks that it was just a typical McCarthy wig vehicle with Ghostbusters slapped on it. Did you read that this week Dan Aykroyd is again talking about doing his own Ghostbusters 3?
Oh, God help us. No,
yeah. So,
I did
good
not.
luck, Aykroyd.
UK Dave wants us to have his and her t-shirts. Okay, you ready for this?
I'm
UK
ready.
Dave says, his shirt says, has Henry seen Fitzcarraldo? And her shirt says 9.
I love it. I think it's great. And I want to say, email us thefranchisepod@gmail.com. Email Henry at henryfranchise@outlook.com. Listen to us on Spotify. Follow me on Letterboxd. But most important of all is listen to The Real Weird Sisters. They just wrapped up the fucking 5th book.
Oh, yeah, we did. Yes, thank you for the shout out.
It was big. I think the last chapter of Order of the Phoenix was one of your best podcasts.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's a nice compliment. Yeah, definitely listen to my podcast, The Real Weird Sisters. Yeah, thank you for shouting us out there.
Well, of course, we're having you on as a guest. We got to plug this
Yeah,
up.
of course.
The Real Weird Sisters is one of my favorite podcasts, up there with many professional podcasts with real sponsorships.
We are not professional.
Yeah. And I've been on there twice, so check that out. And
Great.
yeah, and tomorrow you'll get to hear Mike Bloom and Shut Up Tim talking about the movie there.
When does this come out? Probably the same day.
Yeah. What are you gonna do when you're done with the books?
Well, we're working on ideas. We're kind of playing with some different ideas. Definitely going to jump into Cursed Child, unfortunately,
Yeah,
and do
you
more
gotta.
deep dives into Fantastic Beasts movies as well. At the point that we end the podcast or end the book club, probably only 2 Fantastic Beasts movies will be out. But yeah, we're talking about maybe doing some character deep dives, things like that. Getting closer. We only have 2 books left, so.
I know.
Wow.
I'm very. I can't even imagine. You've got what, like fucking 60 episodes left, and then you're done.
Yeah, we have. It's March 2020 is when the show will.
Oh,
end.
you figured that out.
Oh, you got a while. That's cool. Yeah.
Still a year and a half. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Exactly.
We'll cross that bridge that Alfonso erected in Hogwarts. And what else you got coming up, Martha?
Let me think. We had our Fantastic Beasts reaction show, so if you want to hear our immediate reactions to Crimes of Grindelwald, you can jump into that. We forgot to talk about Aurelius Dumbledore until the day after we recorded it, and so we plugged that in after the outro.
Oh, nice.
We did talk about the huge twist, but it's not until the very end. And yeah, follow me on Twitter at RealWeirdMartha.